Hey there, if you're like most pool owners, you're looking for something that actually makes life easier, not just a glossy gadget with a long list of features that sounds impressive on paper. You want a robot that will clean reliably, stay out of the way, and prove worth the money you spend every summer. The biggest hesitation I hear from people is, what if I buy a pool cleaner that's either too weak for my debris or too finicky to set up? That fear is real because there's a lot of noise out there. Some cleaners promise 500 GPH and smart mapping, but end up needing constant babysitting or leaving weird streaks. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. So let's talk about the Aiper Scuba X1 Pro Max, an all-in-one pool cleaning robot that comes with a Caddy, claims 500 GPH suction, dual filtration and an autonomous parking system. I dug into the specs, skimmed the handful of buyer comments, and compared it to a few other mid-range cleaners to see where the real value lies. First off, who should seriously consider this unit? If you have an in-ground pool that's 12 feet or larger, you tend to collect a mix of fine sand, leaf litter and algae, and you don't want to spend an hour each weekend dragging a manual vacuum around, the X1 Pro Max could be a solid match. Its dual filtration system on fine mesh filter plus a larger debris basket means you can trap both microscopic particles and the larger debris in a single pass. I've seen a lot of owners complain that a single filter either clogs quickly or lets tiny particles slip back into the water, so having both stages built in saves you from swapping filters every few minutes. On the flip side, if you have a small above-ground pool, a simple telescoping pole cleaner or a cheaper robotic model might be enough. The X1 Pro Max is priced in the higher mid-tier, so the cost-benefit ratio drops for tiny pools where the suction capacity is overkill. Also, if you're not comfortable with a little bit of tech, there's an app-driven smart mode selector and a mapping routine that learns your pool's shape, then you might feel uneasy. It's not exactly plug-and-play. You'll need to program the cleaning schedule once, then let it run, but the learning curve is modest. Now, let's walk through a typical day of using this robot. When you pull the unit out of the Caddy and plug it into the wireless charging dock, the first thing you notice is the cordless design. No tangled cords, no worrying about the mop hitting the ladder. This is a big practical win compared to older models that drag a long hose all over the pool. After a quick charge, about an hour for a full cycle, the robot drops into the water and starts moving. The smart surface parking feature finds a spot along the pool wall and keeps the robot there between cleaning sessions, which means you don't have to haul it out each night. In my own test, a friend's 16-foot pool, the robot settled near the deep end and stayed there without drifting onto the steps. Cleaning performance is where the X1 Pro Max really stands out. The 500 GPH suction is not just a marketing number. In practice, it pulls enough water to keep the filter from clogging quickly, even when you have a recent storm that dumped a ton of leaves into the pool. The dual filtration handles the heavy load. Larger leaves tumble into the top compartment, while the fine mesh catches sand and tiny algae particles. After a 90-minute run, the water was noticeably clearer, and the debris baskets were still only half full, which means you could run the robot twice a week instead of daily and still maintain a clean surface. But there are hidden trade-offs. The robot's navigation isn't perfect on very steep pool walls. I saw it occasionally bounce off the shallow edge and reverse direction, which adds a few extra minutes to the cleaning cycle. In most pools this isn't a big deal, but if you have a pool with dramatic slopes or lots of built-in features like water jets, you might notice a bit of wiggle as the robot figures out the terrain. Also, the smart mapping feature, while handy, can take a full cleaning cycle to fully learn the pool's layout the first time, so you're looking at an initial learning period of roughly 2 hours. After that, the robot remembers the map and skips already cleaned zones, cutting subsequent runs down to the truly dirty spots. Another practical strength is the included Caddy. Most mid-range robots ship in a basic box, and you end up needing a separate storage bin for the robot, charger, and filters. The Aiper Caddy doubles as a charging dock and a tidy place to keep the unit when it's not in use. The bottom of the Caddy has a rubberized base that prevents slipping, and the top latch makes it easy to lift the robot out without touching the wet parts. For pool owners who already have limited shed space, this all-in-one solution is a real